You know, sometimes you make poor decisions. And you live by those decisions you make. It's life lessons, kids. So that is, it's a life lesson. Welcome back to Mid-10, y'all. Still working on putting air seed in the old 4755s. We run into a few problems the other day. You know, found out the floorboard was completely gone underneath it. And been working on it. So, it's been a pretty aggravating process. I ain't filmed a whole bunch of it. But here is a before picture of the floorboard. You know, she got a bunch of holes in her and whatnot. And here's an after. Now the paint ain't too good. Now I got a thin coat on there to start. But we redid the sides. All the sides were messed up. The bottom was completely gone. We got to build a little lip right here, and then that'll have it to where it needs to be. I originally set, so we got to put the back piece back on. We'll do that here in just a minute. Still ain't the roomiest cab to work in. You know, it is what it is. Get that bolted back up. I've already got the holes right there retapped, these and these and those and those. There was another little factory hump right here that's about that high, so I got to fab that up. Then we should have everything in the correct order in here. And nobody had a piece. Nobody had a piece of sheet metal that was long enough. I mean, it was long enough this way, but wasn't long enough, wide enough this way. So I had to rip two sheets and weld them together, you know. But it ain't a hole, so we got that going for us. Got to cut a hole for this grommet again, so we got to do that. Yep. More stuff to do. Grommet fits back in, so we can put that in there. That's good. We can put the side back on. We'll put the grommet in from the bottom and go back up. Pretty sure it's supposed to be like that way. Get some water under the seat or something. Drained it out. But I don't know. I ain't the one put it on here. Yep. Ain't nothing like about an hour project turned into 3 days worth of working on something. Yeah, cause see, I got this opening right here. I gotta leave this in here. That way, if you ever have to change this hose out, you can pull the seat and undo it without having to go in a different way, a weirder way, I guess. All right, folks, been at it a little bit longer. I have the air suspension bolted to the floor piece. And so I've been studying on the instructions and studying on this piece. And yeah, doing a bunch of studying. So it's want me to bolt that to this, to these brackets, to this, to that. And I think what we're going to do is, well, I don't know yet. I want this thing to be, you know, kind of sort of right. Or right enough anyways. Just Just trying to get her figured out how it's supposed to be on here. Because my seat is different, mine's a swivel seat, that's why it doesn't line up right. So, yeah. We're gonna modify it, make it work my way, which is gonna be the wrong way. But we're gonna make it work though. Don't you folks worry none. I know y'all worried about this. So what we're about to do is we're gonna drill some holes in the bracket on that. We're gonna skip. We're gonna not use this plate. We're gonna have this bolted to here somehow. All right, we about got her figured out. I'm gonna do what I don't want to do, which is modify this darn thing. That's what I love doing. I love buying stuff and rigging it. All right, folks. We got our seat. Drilled new holes in that frame. That frame and the frame that came with it go to a 44 series seat, and this is a 40 series seat. I don't know. It's not for a 40 series tractor. It's just the number, the manufacturer number on it. So we got this part bolted down. It went smooth. We left just enough gap to run a power wire. It's down below there. It's going to come below through here and go to this battery where my foot's at. That part went relatively easy, so to speak. Now it's time for me to wrestle the door in here. It's time for me to wrestle the seat back in through the door. So, yep. See if we can't work on getting a hernia or something. Put this in the floorboard. That way I can kick it all over creation here in a minute. Seems like a good plan so far. See how much we can scratch the paint. It's not so much heavy, it's awkward as hell. And I didn't have a good step on a step. I ain't struggling yet. There we go. Now we're closer to being in here. Turn the door seal off. Mess the dash up, get it hung. There you go, that's good. Aha! She's in here. Got help. Pretty awkward it is to put this seat back in here. All right, folks, we're back at it. Hadn't shot much the last couple days because these GoPro batteries give out. Finally got the new ones in. We're rocking and rolling once more. I'm going to show you that we did get the air seat put in the tractor. And she works. See? I ended up having to mount my plate to the skid plate because it was, I ordered one for the wrong style seat, and when I called about it, the one to bolt this seat to this track was on back order. So I just modified mine to bolt, everything bolts up right, it works. Still got my swivel in my seat, so that's a plus, I can swivel it. And I'll show you, look. Haven't driven around yet with the seat. It's been sitting right here. But it feels pretty good. It's pretty stationary. Again, what little bit of wobble it has is not in the air ride suspension, it's in my factory seat suspension. But like I was saying, I'm still able to have my swivel. and that hadn't been working quite right the last few years. I fixed that while I had it off, and you know, put the steering wheel down. I think it's gonna be nice. But I did save all my old parts in case this thing gives me trouble. We can always go back and rebuild the factory hydraulic suspension, put it back in. Like I was saying before, the air ride was a little bit cheaper. I just wish I would have ordered the proper brackets. That's on me. That's 100% on me. But we got that all wired up. Oh, I'll show you. Move my stuff out of the way. You can see the power wire back in here. That little white tab that's on it. I left a little. I drilled a little bitty hole right up here up front, or a pretty good size hole. And I got the wire run through here. It's down below. It goes back in here below this. And then I got it run back up here, and here they are. I got to tie them out the way. I ain't done that yet. But I got it running here into this battery box. And just got it bolted up. I did add a fuse to it and a waterproof. It's really water resistant fuse holder. Got a small fuse in there. Put some nice heat shrink on it. It's working. I do need to go back and tie them wires up out of the way. And we've been getting plenty of rain last few days. It's gotten cold again. But that's springtime in Tennessee. All right, we're back in the sprayer. Throw some light on in here. So, if you can see up there, new radio speaker. New radio speaker. We had the radio working. Why was I messing with the radio? Instead of like doing important things like getting air leaks fixed, because I was waiting on this air valve. That is the last piece of the puzzle. I think it's the last piece of the puzzle of this thing. We will find out when we get it on there. So while we was waiting on this, I decided to go ahead and put a radio in here. And the factory speakers were working for a minute. They'd work, some work not. Apparently there's some kind of short in the wiring harness to the factory speakers. So what I did, as I ran new wire, well, I had to put a new radio antenna in, so I got it run down here, come out through this little gap, down the post. I got it kind of neatly tucked behind there, runs behind my monitor, and then you can see it runs in through this hole in the cab that all the wire runs in. So since my radio antenna run in through there, I just ran out new speaker wire, which are these clear wires. I just ran new speaker wire to both speakers. It solved the issue of the speakers kind of sort of not working, kind of working, kind of not. So it solved that. Start getting stuff put back together. I gotta get my dash put back in, put my headliner back in, put all my vent covers back in, get my floorboard situated, get this new air valve put in. Of course, it's rained a bunch, so we'll definitely get that done here within the next 1 or 2 days. And let's see, I got a hood latch to put on it. Finally found one of them. So the hood will stay down. So button the cab up, air valve, hood latch, change sprayer tips. And I really should make a list. The other thing I need to do is build a new battery cable, a hot cable. I think that's it. I think that should have us wrapped up. You know, put the new tips on, take her out, put some water in it, see how she works. If it works, get the spray, and if it don't work, we will get the pool sprayer out. We'll see. We might get the pool sprayer out anyways. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. So today's pro tip is, if you got a magnetic tray like this, put your screws and stuff in it. Don't just leave them in the floorboard like a goober, cause you kick them everywhere and they're gone. That's what I did. I kicked them things all over creation and they are gone. I tried to put a few self-tapping screws in this dash, like this one, but, oh, they look like they were screwed in. They're only screwed in this part of the dash. They wasn't screwed into this part. So we got some more screws. We'll get her put back together. Slowly but surely, folks, slowly but surely. It is becoming something. Thinking maybe by tomorrow I'll have this thing together, maybe. Like I said, we're gonna get this dash pushed back in. Yeah, I think I bought the minimum amount of screws that I needed. I might find a few extras when I clean this floorboard out. What's that one? What's wrong with that one? Oh, that one's got a screw broke off in it. That's why that doesn't want to screw in. That makes sense. So what we will do, it's got a screw broke off in it. Then we'll take the old handy dandy drill here and we'll put a self-tapping screw through that broke screw. That makes sense, right, folks? Well, there you go. You just snap that son of a off in there too. We'll try one more. Tell you what. Been one of them days. One of them days. There. We'll call that fixed. So, it had a broke screw in there. I broke another in there, so we put one beside it. See, its radio still works.
Many benefits, including
we got sound.
price at the pump.
So that's still working. That's a plus. Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't using a magnetic tray before. Just lay them in the ground all stupid like. You know, sometimes, yeah, you make poor decisions. And you live by those decisions you make. It's life lessons, kids. So that is. It's a life lesson. You make poor decisions, you gotta live by them. Oh, and one other thing we're gonna do this weekend. So we got this open gap here. So there should be a panel covering all this. We're gonna get the new air valve put in. We're gonna get that put in. Get the other air valve back up here like it's supposed to. Make sure it works. And then I think we can take some of this old aluminum checker plate toolbox so we can cut some sheets and make it go back on the bolts that are already here. Then you just put a wing nut on it. I at least want to do one right here, that way, and here, that way I'm not getting into all these wires and hitting them with my arm or whatever. Or, you know, as the seat moves up and down, I'm not getting tangled up in them. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We don't want to get all caught up in stuff. I gotta screw this plate right here down too. Gotta screw it back down. Gotta get my wires tucked back behind that. We'll work on that now. Yeah, we'll work on that. Let's see. Gotta plug in wires back in. I think I should set like 3 or 4 more tools here on the floor, because ain't enough junk in there already. I'm just fussing at myself. That's all that is. I'm bad about getting tools out and leaving them out forever. That was something important, probably. Let's see. Well, I just did what I said don't do, which is set stuff in the floor again. Oh, there it is. There it is. Damn, broke that off. These things must be made of Chinesium. Go like this. There we go. Wow. Let's get in there, sorta, kinda. Sorta, kinda. Come on, ceiling. Act like you want to go where you're supposed to go. Get up in your home, man. Hammer. Hammer time. Well, that don't look terrible. Still don't look terrible. I got a little low spot right there. But, you know, it's buttoned back up. New speakers look okay. Got wire coming out all tucked up, nice and neat like, out of the way. Got my cup holder, it's important. So, we're gonna put the vent covers back on. We'll leave this down for right now. I'm not sure if the AC control switch works or not, which is right there. I don't know if that thing works. Let's see if the fan works. Yeah, you can hear it. That blew a bunch of rust in my face. Forgot that thing was full of garbage up there. So, I got rust. Oh, sucked in a lung full of rust. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Probably not gonna get the busted glass fixed this year. Main thing is just get this thing where we can use it. Like we can spray like it is now with the busted glass. It's not busted. It ain't busted out, but it's busted up. It's holding together. But I'm sure first bounce across the field, that thing will fall out, and I'll be in a different sort of trouble. But we'll wait until it happens. You know, we'll wait until it happens. All right, folks, we found a pretty good stopping place for today. You know, we got this interior, got the dash put back on, kind of sort of right, it looks okay. Dash is back on. Got the floorboard, got the footrest fixed. We got the vent house, got the set headliner back in. We got the new radio speakers up here put in, so they work. Yeah, we're getting the inside button up pretty good. It's about time for me to go get the kids and whatnot, because that's my day to do that. And, you know, we'll catch up y'all tomorrow. We'll be back in here, putting the air valve in, getting it plumbed in, cleaning the rest of the junk out of the cab, because as you can tell from the floorboard, I got more stuff to throw down here. Wire ends, screws, loose stuff and whatnot. You know, we'll get her cleaned back out. Air valve, hood latch. We got a hose to tighten up, battery cable, sprayer tips, and then see if it works. I think that's the plan. Y'all remember, if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe. Like always, the good Lord's willing, catch you on the flip side. Till the next.